Yeah, it's awesome. This is
Appreciate you.
this is awesome.
Yeah. It's been fun. It's been a great day. We're not quite done yet. We're gonna go all damn day tomorrow too. So lots of talking ball and Coach Aaron Price, Northern Arizona University, uh, our good friend Coach Ball up there, and the flu grads, and that's a special staff. I know you guys are doing a lot of good stuff in this region, and really getting your footprint out there. So I love it. But so thanks for
Thanks.
coming in. Thanks for coming on and speaking to us. I appreciate it. So guys are locked and loaded. So take the floor, Coach.
All right, awesome. All right, so my name is Aaron Price, special teams coordinator up at NAU. Also the running backs coach. So we've got a few different hats that we where we actually, as a staff, we kind of try to spread out as many different assignments as we can to everybody, so we can kind of work collectively as a unit and also have our own specific responsibilities. As a special teams coordinator, it's one of my first, it's only third year that I've done being a special teams coordinator. I've coached kickers and punters all my career. I was a place kicker at Washington State back in years ago in the early 90s, and have coached a lot of really good kickers and punters throughout my career. I've always been on the offensive side of the ball as an offensive coordinator and a quarterbacks coach. Really wanted and was excited to move into this transition of being a special teams coordinator. I got a couple guys that are my colleagues that I've coached with for years who've kind of taken a turn and gotten into the special teams game. And it's been fun for me to be able to learn something new. Been in offense for 25 years, so getting into the scheme of special teams the last few years has been awesome. I coached, recruited, and coached with Jeff Banks, who's the special teams coordinator at University of Alabama. So I get a lot of my things from him. I've coached Springer down at Arizona. I coached him in college, and he turned into a special teams guy as well. And also mentor and a good colleague, Joe Lorig, who is at Penn State now. And that's where I got a lot of the things that we'll be talking about today on kickoff return. What I always think and look at as a coach as far as doing clinics is how does this relate to the high school game? I've coached at all levels. I've been at Power 5 schools at the FBS and coached in 2 Rose Bowls, and I got to coach in a mid-majors bowl games, and I've coached at the FCS level. This is my second stint as a 1AA guy. I've coached at Division II. I've coached at 2 different Division II teams, and I've even been an athletic coordinator and a head high school coach for a couple years out in El Paso, Texas. And so I kind of understand where and how things can be different at the high school game as opposed to the college game, and from the college to the NFL game. And the hardest job that the hardest job that I've ever had was being a head high school football coach. So my hat's out to you guys. I mean, the amount of teaching that you have to do and the amount of coaching that you have to do at that level is second to none. You know, at college, we get all the best high school guys, all the ones that are easy to coach. And then in the NFL, they get all the best college guys. So when you get into a true teaching position and a true position where you're trying to teach basic fundamentals, you know, it's as hard and a tough a job being a high school coach than it is to be an NFL guy or to be a college level guy. So what we did and what I did at my high school in my kickoff return game is a simple scheme, but it was more about it's more about how we do it as opposed to the scheme. So I'm going to go through a couple drills with us, kind of show you kind of how I build into our special teams here at Northern Arizona, but also, and then I'll show you a simple scheme I used at 2 years at in high school level, produced 12 touchdowns in two and a quarter years. Now that also has to do with a really good returner, and is probably the most important thing is you putting your guy. You got to have guys on there, and you got to have a returner. But it's an effective, proven return that I used for over 2 years, and had 12 touchdowns in two and a third games, 2 and a third years. And also, when Joe Lorg was at Memphis, he used a scheme similar to it, and he went from Memphis went from not having return for a touchdown in over 20 years to having 5 or 6 and leading the nation for 2 years in that specific category. So a lot of the schemes and the techniques that I'm going to show you are coming from Joe and coming from Memphis. I've used it for the last 5 years as well. We were okay last year as a kickoff return unit, and I'll go through some things why. But really to set the standard and set the tone of this meeting and why we do our things, why it's not about scheme. It's going to be more about how you approach the special teams game. And now you guys got to bear with me. We're all coaches and we all have our things. This is going to be a very, very clinicky discussion because I am currently remote and I have not been in my office since I was talked to do this. So I kind of have some stuff on my computer. I have my Thundercloud here. That's a remote deal, but I can't make any cut-ups. I can't make any edits. So I'm going to have to be jumping back and forth here. So excuse me for my lack of preparation on this. It's just I have a couple of PowerPoints that I'm going to pull from and a couple different areas that I'm going to have to pull some video from because I can't make an edit from home. I'm going to share my screen now. Just kind of show you a couple things about what we do here at NAU and how we get to our how we really get to our special teams game. And again, the most important thing we can do as a special teams, from the guys from the #1 special teams unit in the country to NAU to high school, you have to, in my opinion, keep it simple. The scheme is half or less of the battle. The battle is going to be being able to get your players in the right positions, getting the guys to buy into it, and also having fun and making it exciting for them. Special teams cannot be a chore. Special teams cannot be part of the game that the special teams coach goes over there and he coaches and all the other coaches go sit on the sidelines and wait for the period to be over and then we start up again. This has got to be an all-in buy-in type of deal, and I'll go into what all-in means for us here in a minute. But here's just a basic, real quick, of a special teams type of philosophy. It builds into our kickoff return because it means everything. It means way more to have a philosophy than it does to have a scheme. We can all sit and draw up a bunch of schemes that all work. But the buy-in has got to be the most important part, and especially in our NAU, all in our phases of special teams. All right. So here's a quote a little bit that goes along with our special teams game. Tell me, and I forget. So if you sit there and tell a kid, hey, you got to block number 4, okay, he's going to forget that. Okay, you teach him, okay, and then he might remember. Teach him how to block there, kind of show him how to do it. But if you involve those kids, you involve them in your special teams part of the game, then they're going to learn, okay? And the involvement and the engagement of how you get your players to do this portion of the game is huge. Okay, so it's the hardest part of the game to teach because it's the most unimportant aspect to certain kids. All right. Well, we as coaches know the importance, but they don't. And so it's very hard to teach this part. You got to get them engaged. You got to get them to buy in, and you got to get them to be involved. How do you do that? Okay. A couple of the special teams goals that we have. Okay, and I'll get into to more of the buy-in. But everything we do special teams wise is going to be all on the football and no penalties. Okay, this is a transition game. It is a transition play, and it's changing possession. Your number one goal of this play is to gain possession of the football. If you're giving up the possession, you have to get it back, and it's also a part of the game that a crucial penalty can cost us. And we see it every day, all throughout high school, college, and NFL. The flags being thrown more in this part of the game than any other part of the game, okay? So those are our two goals. We say it every day. I start out the meeting, I make my announcement, and then I say, hey, what's our number one goal? Everybody says on the ball. I said, what's our number two goals? And everyone says no penalties. Okay, so we are talking about these two things every day. All right. When we talk about special teams, we want to do something that makes it stand out. There's got to be a little something that makes these kids want to be able to do it. Now, enticing them is part of it, right? Everybody understands what these three brands are, okay? There's an M, that's McDonald's, okay? We've got the Nike swoosh, and then we have the Mercedes sign. Okay, those are brands that you see and immediately identify as something that you may like. So what I want to do as a special teams unit is I want to brand my special teams. Okay, and if you look at my background here, and you're seeing the AI and part of the Lumberjack logo that we have, our AI. Is our special teams motto, okay? And that motto is all in. And so I start every meeting off, and we don't call it special teams or ST meetings. We call them AI meetings, okay? They're all in meetings. We got to have everybody in the boat in order to be successful in this, okay? So everywhere you go into my office, you're going to see this. You're going to see it on my coffee mugs. You're going to see it on my hats. You're going to see it on my T-shirts. You're going to see it on kids' shoes. You're going to see a sticker on their helmet, okay? And then you'll see an AI somewhere, and it means you're all in. And so I start off every meeting. I say all in. The team responds, we win. And we start the meeting that way, okay? But that's going to build that. So when anybody sees this logo, they know exactly what we're talking about. It's all throughout the building. You go down in the locker room, you see an AI on the locker room, and it's an association to our special teams game. I mean, I got coaches, I got players calling me AI. Hey, coach. Hey, walk by him in the hallway. AI, what's up, coach? AI, let's go. And so we're always talking about it, and it's a way of life for our players, and it's something that we can build upon and buy into. All right. Not only is it a way for them to be able to associate themselves in a certain way, but it's also a way that we can entice them and give them rewards for being part of this game, because it's an extra special part of the game. All right. Got to make it fun. Okay, we're out here for a game. No one said hard work can't be fun, right? So we'll work our butts off. We'll do everything we have to do, but we're going to have some fun doing it. It's not a punishment to be on special teams, okay? You're going to get extra things. The harder you work, the better you're going to get, and the reward systems. And you can do anything. At my high school, I had old inventory shirts that I'd give them out, for a special teams award here and there, and just start passing things out and trying to make it as fun and enticing, and bribing them basically to play special teams and work their butts off. Okay, but if you're playing in this thing, we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun in our meetings. We're gonna play Jeopardy. We're gonna have music going. We're gonna have YouTube videos playing. and constantly keeping their attention, constantly throwing little bits of information at them, and keeping them going. So they know that, hey, I'm not going to Coach Price's AI meeting to sit there and get yelled at. I'm going in there because we're gonna go in there. We're gonna do a quick 10-15-minute meeting. It's gonna be something fun. It's gonna be something exciting. It's gonna have pop to it. It's gonna have some music, and then we're out. Okay, so every time you hear AI, you're gonna get a positive message in your head. All right, so we have a reward systems. You know, we go up by our recruiting offer system that we have. Okay, we can let the kids eat dinner first. Okay, or they get out of conditioning one day, or I'll throw candy bars out or popsicles out to them. You know, trivia games, a different coach trivia every once in a while, and interactive meetings. Very interactive, very, very. Now it's a lot of work for not a lot of meeting time, a 5 or 10 minute meeting, but you actually get a lot more out of it because now they're paying attention and they're making exciting and fun to play on special teams. All right, we give them dog tags or t-shirts. Dog tags, they're, you can buy them custom deals, and a couple bucks. You can get on those a bunch of those websites that has all those little paraphernalia, the little lanyards or keychains and things that I did at my high school because it was cost efficient for me. and those things go a long way for kids and their appreciation. All right, so I'm giving them some type of visual identity, giving them an AI. So now every time they know we're talking about AI meetings or we got AI time on the field, that it's going to be high tempo. It's going to be energetic. They're going to get in and out. They're going to bust their butts, and they're going to have some type of reward at the end. And they're going to see that it's not a negative to play on special teams. Okay. All right, so we have, I have a goal. I have 15 guys, gold award guys that are, my core, or maybe there's only 6, and they get the most gear. And then maybe the Navy guys are guys that play on 2 special teams, and maybe the white guys are guys that play on 1 special team. So you make different tiers up, and if they get to that certain tier, boom, they get that type of deal. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about buy-in, trying to get my guys to go and buy into everything we do. It's a culture that you have to establish, and it goes from the top to the bottom. I got one of the best head coaches in the game. He's in every single one of my meetings. He's in every single one of our practices. He coaches a position on our special teams. He's in this thing all the way with me. He's giving out awards. He's talking about AI. And so we really kind of build a culture around this thing to make it to be fun and exciting, and so we can win this portion of the game. Now, keys to our AI, all right, we try to use our best players. If I can get some of our best players on 2 special teams, then I'm going to be better for it. Okay, so I'm going to use my best players. I used my best players in high school. I didn't have a lot, but use my best players there, and if I can gain an advantage in any way in these 20-30 plays, then I'm gonna take that advantage. All right. So attention to detail. Everything we do is monitored. Everything is charted, and everything is detailed out. That's why I don't want to do a lot. Don't want a lot of scheme. I want to detail the scheme out, make them know exactly what they do. And so now the best player, after he just goes and runs a takeoff, he's got to come out and be a gunner on my Pump Pro team. Well, shoot, I don't want a lot of thinking. I don't want to have him thinking that he's got the lines up in a certain position. I just want him to play, okay? And I'm going to get him to play, and I'm going to get him to want to play. And then we're going to practice it like we practice in a game. All right, and there's certain times that I'm going to really evaluate, are we running too much in special teams? And the last thing I want to do is be conditioning period. And so we have to practice very, very fine, with high quality and not a lot of reps, but with some intensity, okay? And then we just have an AI mentality, and that mentality is exactly what we're talking about, okay? Everything we are, that's who we are, okay? We're smart kids. I want smart kids. I want them to know what they're supposed to do. They have plenty to learn on offense and defense. So I'm not going to give them a million things. I'm making them smart by not giving them a ton. All right. It's the KISS method, right? I want to be explosive. When they're on there, I want them to want to play hard. I want them to want to be able to go make plays because they know they're going to have a positive result at the end. Okay. Dynamic, meaning that they're going to be able to do different things. They're going to be able to play in different spots. I cannot make it hard if I'm going to move a kid around. Okay, and then we're going to attack in everything we do. There's an opportunity to win the game. It's a transition play. A lot of people say, hey, just get the ball back and let's go. But this is a time for a team that's maybe less advantaged, playing a higher caliber team that we can take advantage of we can take advantage of our opponent in this area. Okay. Staff expectations, basically just knowing the depth chart, paying attention and walkthroughs, getting to know your plan, practice plan. Head coach, guys, you got to be involved. This is got to be one of your most important things. It might be only 10, 15 minutes a day, but you got to get involved and make sure that, because if they know you're not involved in it, they're not going to be too fired up to be there. Okay, the head coach, they look over there and Coach Ball is on his phone and he's not paying attention to me, then I know that they're not going to care. But that's why head coach Ball is there in it every day, and I know he's got my back. Okay, we want to take pride and maximize meeting times. You're not going to get much meeting time. You might meet once a week on this. Okay, and then know the scheme, and it will be simple. All right, the expectations I have for players. Okay, we treat our meeting time, and we treat this time just like it's offense or defense. It's no different. It's another football play. Okay, we want to be on time and prepared. The best players will play. There's a ton of college opportunities. College coaches go and ask those questions as you do any special teams at all. It's the number two question by NFL scouts when they come into our place. One is, do they love to play football? The second question is, do they play special teams? Okay, so it's a great opportunity to show your skills and your desire. All right, kids need to know where they are in the depth chart, where they play. We're not wasting time. We know what the drill is going to be, and we're going to go through it and walk through. Okay, we watch film on our own, and we watch it in meetings when we can. All right. Basically, I'm trying to get, okay. Basically right here, our philosophy is pretty much gonna be these three things right here. Okay, in special teams, this is why it's so important. There's a sizable amount of yardage involved. Everything that you do in the kick game is going to be 40 plus yards or more. Okay, the ball's in the air. There's guys scattered all around the field, and that ball is being flopped, and that field is being turned over more than any time in the game. Okay, there's a change of possession involved, and then there's a specific attempt to score points involved too. Field goal, special teams. Okay, trying to return a kick for a touchdown, block punts, fake punts, et cetera, okay? That's what we got to do. Now, this would probably be different for a high school, but on the average, if you're looking at a game, if we kick that ball and we turn that ball and they have to go 90 plus yards, the percentage of scoring is about 3%, okay? When they have to go 80 plus yards, the percentage of scoring is about 7%. Okay, when they have to go 60 plus yards, now it starts getting to be about 15%, 50-yard line. You're going to score about 20. We're talking touchdowns. Okay, score about 20% of the time. Score about 33% of the time. 50% of the time in the red zone. 66% of the time. Now those things averages out, but that's over a 10-year study that we looked at, and that's what field chart does. Now, if you look at that and you want to get better on defense. Yeah, that's a pretty easy way to get better on defense. It's right there, okay? And it's called just basically changing the field in the special teams game, okay? We have elements of a successful kicking game, obviously we want to eliminate mistakes. We do that by keeping it simple, all right, playing full speed. Our intensity, we do a lot of fundamental drills, and we have an attitude, and we practice this, okay? And we practice it every day, and we practice it quite a bit, and we buy into the fact that we're going to win football games on special teams, okay? All right, so that's in a nutshell how we base our special teams, and we go into our special teams game. That's how we're going to do everything we do. Okay, in our AI stuff that we have in every aspect of the game, we're gonna be flying around. We're gonna have some fun, and we're gonna do it in a good way. All right, now wait, I gotta share this. Going into our kickoff return stuff, okay? Going into our kickoff return stuff, I'm going to show you basically, I'm going to be talking about one return and some middle return, okay? And if it's all you do the whole year, I did it for literally for 24 games, all right, and got 12 touchdowns out of it in high school a couple years ago in Texas. Now, I did have a really fast kid who led the nation in receiving, led the state of Texas in receiving for 2 years, was third in the nation, and also returns. He was ended up being ineligible and is at junior college now, but he was a really electrifying kick returner. All right, we use this return as our base return this last year. Average start, drive start with this return was the 31-yard line. All right, and you can look at where and how you want to break down your stats. But when you're talking kickoff return, I don't care if you average 28 yards a kick on a kickoff return. It all depends on where that ball's being kicked. If the ball gets kicked to the 30-yard line and you get an 8-yard return, well, you got the ball on the 38-yard line. If the ball gets kicked to the 2-yard line and you got a 20-yard return, now it's ball's on the 22. So I'd rather have the ball on the 38, and so my average drive start's going to be the most important stat that I look at, and that I base my success rate off of. Okay, so our average drive start for this return at NAU this last year was the 31-yard line. It's a very solid return, obviously, and again, it produced some touchdowns with some exceptional returners at Memphis as well as in high school for me. Okay. All right, so here we go. All in special teams goals, obviously own the ball, no penalties. The two most important things you can do. If you have one turnover in a special teams game, it's a loss. Okay, and anytime you turn over or have a penalty in this kickoff return game, that averages out to 2 first downs that the offense will need to get in order to compensate for that penalty. Because not only do you use the penalty yards, but you also use you lose the yardage that you gained in the return. Okay, I break my kickoff down by overall position. Now, what you'll see here is the amount of players that I played in those positions this year. Okay, we had a rough year. We had a really rough year. We had over 30 injuries, and when you have injuries, where are you gonna steal guys from? You're gonna steal them from your special teams depth. So you'll see that I had 7 different returners this year as a return, and you want maybe 2 or 3 tops. Okay, so if you look at my return game down here, I had over 7 guys returning here. Okay, so we're not going to be great with that. Okay, we're not going to be great with that. And then as you look at your return, your front line, you're going to have 7, 8 guys in each different spot. Well, if you don't have consistency here, then you're not going to be good. And if you have injuries and you have to continually change up your depth chart, then you cannot scheme. So that it just goes back to, hey, I got one return, and this is the return that we're going to go through the games, all our games with. Well, shoot, I can start putting different guys in here, okay? And so that's what I'm just showing you, the amount of guys that we had to play with, and we still averaged 31 to the 31-yard line, okay? So it's not in a good way at all to see it like this, and this is not what you want. Skip over that. All right, so our special teams goals, our kickoff return. We have to have number one is 100% ball security. We're getting the ball back here on this play. It has to stay in our possession. No balls on the ground. Field all balls. No penalties. Score touchdowns. We're trying to score points on this. All right, set the tempo. You're normally the momentum shift is the other way when you're getting a kickoff return. They did something good just recently, and it's either the start of the game, halftime, or you're down in the momentum. So this is a great way to start changing the game and changing our momentum is in getting this thing going back the other way. We number our kickoff team from 1 to 5 from sideline to sidelines. So if we're going from the left side, we're looking at the guys kicking at us. That's the L1 to the L5. On the right side, it's the R1 to the R5, okay? We don't number the kicker, and then we always communicate who we're blocking. So if I'm blocking L4, I point over, I say, hey, I got number 34 there. That's L4, you got 33, and so we're talking to each other before the kickoff, making sure we're communicating to who we're blocking. All right, and so here's our alignment, okay? And I'll go over our alignment here shortly, but we're really looking at our count, okay? You can't see that very well. I'll try to make it a little bit bigger here. All right, so if we're looking from left to right, we got our L1 here to our L5. We have our kicker in the back, and then we have our R1 to our R5 there, okay? And that's how we're maintaining our kicks, okay? If you have a win game and a guy comes out and he holds the ball, he'll always be our one player, okay? Or if they decide it's usually a backside guy, that's usually a safety, we always count him as our one player and count that way, depending on what they're doing as a kickoff cover unit. But here we got our R1 to R5, we got our L1 to our L5, and we're going here. Okay, now if the kicker's on one side and they have they're in a 4-6 alignment, then that R5 flops to the field. If they're kicking on the other hash, then the L5 flops to the field. We do not count the kicker. We don't matter where. Doesn't matter where that football is lined up. Guys stay on twists and things. We don't pass off or zone off twists other than in the back line. Our front line guys stay with our guys. All right. Okay. We have to have perfect alignment every time. I'm not going to ask you to line up a bunch of different places. And we have to have perfect alignment. Our get off. We have to see the ball off the tee. Our alignment requires that we're looking at the tee for any fakes. Okay, we have a 4-man front, so we got to make sure that we're looking at our fakes. Okay, we've got a ball key. All right. Okay, we have a ball key. We're locating the returner. All right, we're keying the football where it's kicked. When we see it off the tee, I'm turning. I'm sprinting towards my returner. Yeah, I'm turning. I'm sprinting towards my returner. That will set up my alignment for my block. Wherever that ball's going, that's where I'm getting. I'm sprinting towards, so I can get my leverage on my football, okay, on my block. All right, the technique, obviously no penalties, and then we got to take it to the house inside the stadium. Base alignment, I'll blow this up a little bit. Okay, base alignment, we're going to have our two left guards, our two front line guys, left guard, right guard, are going to be in front on the 46-yard line, okay? They are going to be the #1 stoppers for dribble middles. Everyone wants to dribble middle, so these guys got to be on their toes in great football positions, ready to go, watching that ball off the tee. Our two tackles are going to be on the top of the numbers. They're going to be on the 47, okay, about a yard back so they can cover down any type of pop over or sky kicks that are coming, okay? We're splitting the difference with our right and our left pivots. Our tight ends, they're going to be on the 41-yard line. If you have somebody that you're playing that is kind of a trick-dicky guy, you might want to move these guys up a little bit and prepare for any type of surprise onside, but technically they're going to be on the 41-yard line. We got our left tight end and our right tight end. We're going to be on the 25, 26-yard line, and then we have our fullback right down the middle on the 20. Depending on the kick and where the kicker kicks the ball, then that's going to be where our off returner or returner is going to be located. Okay, real quick alignment issues. Okay, teaching progression with our frontline technique. Okay, the hardest block in America, the hardest #1 job that you have in football is a single man block on the front line of a kickoff return. Okay, and if as opposed to that, if you're a kickoff cover guy, you can never get blocked by a single man block on a kickoff cover. All right, so that's a really, really hard block, and so we're going to teach and talk a lot about what we do in frontline technique. And then we have some double team techniques we won't talk about too much. And then our backline tandem technique is with our tight end or fullbacks, tandem blocking. We can't double team anymore, so I call them a tandem block, and we'll take that on at 2 different times, okay? And then an off returner and the returner, okay? First drill that we talk about in our frontline drills is basically a two-step redirect, okay? It's with our left guard, left tackle, and our left pivot. They're working as a pod, okay? A right guard, right pivot, and a right tackle are working as another pod. And then we're all setting and doing a two-step redirect. What we're doing is we're getting to our spot. We're getting to our alignment. We're going to sprint back to between the 35 and the 25-yard line. I want to take this block on around the 30-yard line. I'm going to two-step redirect and turn and get my center of gravity and my body movement going towards my blocker. I do not want to, a lot of people like to set and drift. A lot of people want to set and gather. I want to just get my momentum and my body weight going towards my target, okay, and being a little bit more of attack style in my block, okay. So I'm not a gather drift guy. I'm a set and attack my target guy, okay. And there's 2 different types of blocks there. A lot of guys, there's 2 different positives and negatives for both of them. So we have a daily skill drill that we do every day. We have 5 minutes, okay? We start off the drill. We have 5 minutes where we are doing a daily skill over here, and all of our guys are working on that. As we're doing that, I have a kicker kicking dribbles and squibs and pop-ups to like fullback tight end types over here, okay? And then on the other side of the field, I have a kicker kicking to kickoff returners. I have a punter kicking punts to the punt returner, and that's our daily skills and drills, period. We do it every single day to start practice. It's a 5-minute deal. Every practice, I have at least one specific drill that we do, and this is our kickoff drill. It's called our two-step redirect. I'm going to get to the line, two-step redirect, and I'm going to attack my opponent, my kickoff cover guy, and I'm going to attack him. I'm going to lock on, and he's got to go one way or the other. As I know where my return is, I'm going to use my inside or my dominant hand or to the return side as my control hand, and I'm going to work to get him out of the return area. Okay. So if we can see this, hopefully it's not too laggy. I don't know whether or not it's going to be for you, but here's our two-step redirect drill. Okay. If you watch this guy in the middle right here, okay. He's going to hit two-step. He's going to get to the line. He's going to plant. As soon as he plants, the next guy is going to run up, and he's going to attack and block him. Okay, and it's a real confined space. We're working at the top end of the block. Okay, I'm two-stepping my line, and I'm redirecting my weight. Okay, It doesn't work out perfectly like this because of the speed of certain guys, and you're going to have to go and move. But what I'm trying to do is stop my momentum, change my center of gravity, and attack, get my body going forward towards my my opponent, okay? And so as you're watching this right here, he's using the left hand. We're kicking out. We're kicking it, guys, to the left here, okay? And he's using his dominant hand or his return hand as his control hand, and he's turning and getting in and working that. And we have another drill I'll show you here in a second. It's called sustain, drive and sustain, all right? And he's driving and sustaining his block here, okay? Plant, attack. Oh, this is the next clip, okay? So go back to the first clip. All right, so here's the first clip again. So we're seeing him plant, attack, drive, and sustain his block. Now, the guy here, 32, look at his control hand is his left hand. His dominant hand is his left hand. He's got to drive that hand. He's got to drive that left hip, drive that left hand, and work that defender out of there. That guy can easily cross face. And the one thing that we don't want to be able to do when we have our two-step redirect drill is get cross-faced. Everybody wants to avoid butt side. Everybody wants to avoid return side. So when we got to be dominant on our inside. Okay? Can't stop our feet. We had a big problem with all the different people that I had doing this throughout the year, is stopping our feet. Okay? Once you stop your feet in the kickoff return game, you're going to get defeated. People are going to run by you. People are going to cross face you, and people are going to run through you. So we can't stop feet. We have to drive and sustain our feet. Boom, drive and sustain our blocks. Okay, this is a real simple drill. It's our two-step redirect drill, but it's the most important part of a single frontline block. Yeah, it's a real simple drill, but it's as important as anything you can do to get them to work that. Okay, another drill that we have, okay, to work this is our competition drill. It's our kickoff return or our kickoff cover drill. All right, so we have a towel down here, and it's a way to create some excitement, do a little competition. Guys call each other out. They come up. All right, it's not real taxing. I don't have a million guys going at once, okay? But it's something we can do full speed, okay? So I have my kickoff return guy. He's going to sprint past the kickoff cover guy. He's going to plant in the box and turn, two-step redirect at the top. And now this guy's going to attack, and he's going to try to beat him with the towel. We'll go back and forth to this. It's again, it's not something that I'm trying to get a ton of reps, but I'm getting one or two high quality full speed reps, and I would do it once every few weeks, maybe once a month type of a deal. So again, you'll see it from the end zone, but again, right here we have our kickoff return guy and our kickoff cover guy here. Okay, he's going to sprint past him and set up. Once he hits that line, he's going to go, and now they're going to attack the cone on the back end here. Okay, plant, set. Now that's a technique here that I was saying, set and drift technique, that I'm not teaching. We're not doing. Okay, we're two-step redirecting, trying to get our body movement into and take on that block a little bit quicker. Okay, this is a great retrace and a great set by this kickoff return guy to get back into it. But we want to attack a little bit more, not drift so much. There's a lot of people that do teach this exact technique right there. Okay, I'd like to see him just two-step that line a little bit and then step up into it. Okay, that's why we call it redirecting our movement. Okay, but he does a great job of inside control hand and winning the drill. Got the head coach there, calling it out, making it important, making it fun for these guys. Simple box drill. Okay, simple kickoff, cover, kickoff, return. Setting inside. Now we can move inside. He tries to avoid inside. Guy stops his feet. I'd like to keep our feet hot. That's why we talk about two-step, okay? Redirecting two steps, okay? And not stopping our feet, but he gets back in there and is able to wall him off, okay? Simple drill, easy drill, and what we're really doing is just teaching our two-step redirect there. All right, additional drill that's going to be more pod work. But I like, when I say kickoff return pods, we're going to, and I have drawings on this and different things back at the ranch, but I don't have them with me right here. So normally we're talking these guys right here. There are one pod. These three guys right here are one pod. And then our backline guys, our fullbacks and tight ends and returners are a third pod. Everyone's working separately. Everyone's working on their own. There's two coaches here. There's two coaches here. And there's two coaches here. And I'm in between redirecting it and calling out anything that I see and making corrections, okay? This is a great way to be able to get individualized work in a full field setup, okay? We're doing a little bit different return on this one, but basically down here, what we're doing is our middle 55, what I'll show you on the end here, okay? But basically, we're gonna have three guys run down, okay? We have our our pods here. We're gonna sprint to the line, two-step redirect, kick out, sprint the line, two-step redirect, kick out, sprint the line, two-step redirect, and kick out, and have our scout team guys going down here. Sometimes it's a little bit unrealistic because the scout team guys aren't running and you get there too quickly. All right, so as we set up, okay, we're setting up, these guys are still 15, 20 yards away. You can scoot those guys up, okay, and have them run down and get on top of these blocks a little bit more to make it a little bit more realistic. And that way they don't have to run as far. But I like the attack of these two guys. I like the way that they're attacking and taking on that block. It's kind of a chicken game here, playing chicken. These guys are running full speed on it. All of a sudden you plant and you start attacking that block. They got to make a decision. Am I going through you or am I going around you? Okay. And if you keep your feet hot, you'll be able to take on each one of those blocks. Okay. It's a man's game. It's a big blocks. Okay. Real good job by both these guys using their control hands to the play side. Now you can see that these drills are being individually run. They're not being snapped at the same time. So now I can change my guys out. I can send one guy. I can do it over. I have control of my pod, and that way I'm getting the work that I need to get done on my each individual side. Okay, so it's just a pod drill. I take whatever scheme that I have going and I work those pods that way. And it helps not having to line up 11 guys on 11 and run 70 yards by the scout team and have these guys drop back 30 yards and do a full block, okay? It's really individualizing and taking a lot of the running out of the game. All right, let's see here. Take a look here. Okay, this is a good example right here. Good example of just being aggressive and attacking, okay, as opposed to setting and drifting. As it's being aggressive and attacking and finishing, and that's the whole point of two-step and redirecting my weight, redirecting my momentum, so I can get a good physical block and a hit on this thing, okay? So often we get run by, so often we don't attack, okay? We have a real soft block on the inside of that right here. You'll see a guy who's setting and drifting and he gets run by, and it's the reason why I don't teach that. A lot of guys do, but he's setting, drifting, and he gets cross-faced, and that guy could potentially make the play there, okay? And so there's a look right there between those two blocks, okay? What a two-step redirect is and being aggressive and what a set and drift can do, okay? They can both work, okay? Backside of this thing, we got a set and drift guy right there, okay? And it works, okay? So there's two different philosophies, but I believe in being a little bit more aggressive as opposed to letting guys come to you. I'm gonna skip over that one and get to this right here. I got, what time is it? 3:58. What did we start about? 3:10 or 2:10. So I should be able to get another what 8 minutes, 10 minutes in.
Yeah, you're good, Coach. Whatever you got.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to talk scheme here in a minute, but I just want to be able to see what we're doing here. This is a real simple scheme. It's called middle 55, okay? Basically, my pot over here is going to block 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to set on 2-step redirect, block him out. I'm going to set on 3, L3, 2-step redirect and block him out. I'm going to set on 4, 2-step redirect and block him out. So that would be there, that would be there, that would be there. We're leaving one free. It's a middle return, okay? Same thing over here, okay? I got 2, 3, and 4 right there. I'm gonna set over 5, block 4. I'm gonna set over 4, block 3. I'm gonna set over 3, block 2. Okay, so I'm a middle return. I'm leaving the 2 5s down the middle. Okay, I'm leaving the 2 5s, 2 headhunters. I'm letting them scream down the middle. Okay, that's my 6-man block, the front line blocks. That's why so much of this is talking about our 2-step redirect, because it has so much to do with whether or not you're going to be successful on this return. Okay, on our back line, as the ball's kicked, we're sprinting back. We're all sprinting back. This is our tandem blocks. Okay, we're going to double team one of these 5s, and depending on the game and depending on who we're playing and who they have for these 2 5s right here is where we're gonna set. The fullback sets the alignment. He wants to be 10 yards from the ball, in front of the ball. He's gonna watch that ball being kicked. As soon as the ball's being kicked, he turns and sprints to the returner, wherever the returner is. Our left tight end, he's gonna sprint and chase the fullback. He's not looking at anything but the fullback. Wherever that fullback goes, he's looking. As soon as that fullback sets up, he's going to turn and go get R5. As that fullback sets up, our right tight end, he's going to be sprinting at that fullback. When he sees that fullback set up, he's going to get a little bit closer. He's going to cross his face, and he's going to go get L5. Okay? Now, so that's basically a 55 cross, okay? We don't have to do that. You can just set him for L5, set him for R5, and then you can have your fullback be MDM. I can tell my fullback to MDM block this. So as he sets, kicks out R5, he sets and gets behind him, he kicks out L5. I can have the fullback set, wait for this thing, and now I'll go, keeping my eyes on these blocks. If one gets defeated, I can go get it. Or I can say, hey, number 55 over here is a badass, okay? We're going to double his butt. I'm not going to care about this guy, okay? The left tight end is going to take care of him, but he's going to need help on this guy. So as you set, you're going to waterfall technique or tandem block this with 55. We don't call them double teams anymore, okay? I can't go and attack in a 2-man double team or 2-man wedge at the point of attack. I can't take on that block as two blockers coming to block this. What I can do is as he attacks this, goes and blocks, I can come and follow him and block him where this guy goes. If he tries to cross face, I'm going to take him. okay? And I call that a waterfall block. As he waterfalls off the block, I'm going to go take it and attack that, okay? And that's our tandem block scheme that we're talking about. And this is our middle 55, okay? And if you're watching, okay, our left guard here, okay, as he sets on our opponent here, he's attacking and he's setting, and he's just keeping him out of the way and keeping him out of the return. This return should hit right there in the middle. We got a new returner in, a walk-on kid, wasn't even in camp, okay? And as this thing develops, okay, as this thing kicks out and this crosses and he kicks out, he should be leading this thing up right up the middle, and you can see this thing where it's going to hit, okay, right there. As our off returner comes up, cleans this thing up, that thing should hit right up the middle, and then we have one guy to beat, and it's the kicker. But we can't see that, and it takes a special guy back there because we got a lot of moving parts. Okay. So, anyways, that's where we're at with our a good drill for us to work on that. Okay, is we can slow it down and just have a box drill out in front. Okay, where we're working our single man blocks, our two-step redirect. And we're working our two-man scheme or three-man tandem scheme in the back, okay, here on our bags, all right? So we'll have them set. I'll get to a video here. I know I have it somewhere on here. Here's our daily skill where we're kicking to squibs and pops to our up backs and having them catch those every single day. We got D linemen down there, tight ends, fullbacks, catching sky kicks and squibs every single day. All right, so here's a drive and sustain. You know what? I'll just get to this one thing before I get to that. All right, so how I have this set up in back, okay, they're working frontline blocks out in front. I got my left tackle, my right tight end, my left tight end, my fullback here. They're going to sprint back, watching the ball. He's looking at it. He's sprinting, getting to this position. He's getting there. As soon as he settles, he's going to turn and strike, and then he's going to sprint back and get in the tandem with the fullback. As they get in their spots, okay, as that ball is being caught, I'm going to stop this drill. Make sure, hey, look, guys, eyes are on the football. Guys, eyes are on the up back. Okay, here's a go, go, go call. I know now I'm crossing in front. He's going to take out 5. He's going to take out 5, and I got to get myself in position to get back behind where I can see these blocks happening so I can go make a play. All right, so I stop that drill right there at this point and just say, all right, this is the position that we need to be in right here. We're going to be in a line. We're in a 3-man line. You should be 5 yards away from the ball. You should be 10 yards away from the football. You should be crossing in front. Okay, and our left tackle is on line with our fullback. And that's the position that we would be in. Okay, so if you see it here. Okay, now we have our L5 and R5 men. They're coming back. They get in position. Here's my left tight end, crossing over, getting R5. Here's my right tight end, getting with my number 3 or my fullback. He's going to go get L5, and my 3's leading this thing up, taking on a block. That's a little bit too tight. I'd rather have him a little bit back behind this thing and get going a little bit, but that's the gist of the drill. Two-step redirect. All right, so now last thing is I'll just kind of show you the scheme that we're looking at here. And then I'll be opening it up for questions. You can get a quick look at this, what I'm looking at as far as my Drive and sustain, kickoff drill, box drill, double team techniques. Kickoff scheme. 55. All right, so here's our middle 55 return. Okay, again, it's a middle return. My left guard, left tackle, and left pivot are all setting and blocking 2, 3, and 4 out. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, we're all setting on the 30. We're taking that block on between the 35 and the 25, depending on who we're playing and how they run. The right guard, right tackle, right pivot, they are all setting and kicking this thing out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Now, I could now, depending on if they have if they're taking their R3 saying he's going to be the safety, then I won't count R3. I'll go 1, 2, and 4. All right. If they have 1 screaming down here as a knife player, then I'm gonna adjust this as their scheme adjusts. Okay. But basically, these 3 guys are going to be blocking out the 3 most dangerous players this way, and these guys are setting and blocking out the inside 3 here. We're leaving 5s for the fullbacks and the fullback and the tight ends. The left tight end is going to block the R5. The right tight end is going to block L5. And the fullback is going to double team one of those guys depending on how you want. Now, the off returner's job is he's got to, and this is very, very important because I lost the returner this year, broke his ribs because my off returner didn't watch. We had a team that changed up in the middle of the game. They took their R1 and R2, flopped them, made R2 the safety, and they had R1 as a knife guy. Our off returner knows that R1 and L1 are free players. So as they're returning this, they're keeping their eyes on the free players. Their first responsibility is L1 or R1. And if they see a screamer, then he's going to go and peel off and go get him. All right. So we had a game and we kicked it off and I think it was Portland State. They flopped their R2 and R1. R1 came screaming down, knocked the crap out of our returner, broke his ribs because he didn't get over there and see him. It would have been a probably possible touchdown on there had he just peeled off. Now, he put his helmet on there and didn't actually make the tackle, but he did hit the guy from the side. So it's a very, very important that off returner gets to that R1 or that L1 on this return. Okay, real simple return, guys. All right. And when we talk about blocking, okay, if I'm the left guard, I have L4, then I drop over L5 and I block 4. I drop over 4, I block 3. I drop over 3, I block 2. And that's going to help you get on your angle to the return. Okay? And as the ball's being kicked, I'm screaming back. I'm looking where that ball's being kicked, and I'm running right at the football. I'm running right at the football. Running right at the football because that's going to set the leverage for your block. Okay, if the ball's kicked over here, then I have a higher angle. If the ball's kicked over here, then I got to come at this angle. Okay, so I'm setting my block on where that ball's being kicked. All right, and then the back line. Okay, our tandem blocks. Okay, our fullback and our right tight end. As the left tackle comes, he's not going to come together. We used to have a 3-man wedge here. And we'd come up and then we'd cross, okay? He's going to cross in front, go get him. He's going to go cross in front, and he's going to get in front of that thing, and the fullback's going to help and get on his double team there. Just one more look, just give you a look here. Okay, this got this opponent here, probably sending their 1 and 2 crossing here, and so the off returner is keeping his eyes on that cross. That 1 crosses inside. That off returner takes him. Okay. As we set up, here comes the 5s. We're going to double our 5 on this game. So he comes in front in the PP or the fullback, comes in double teams the R5 in this case. And now we got an R5 and our L5 double team. We're driving, we're sustaining our blocks. We're driving and we're sustaining our blocks. We're kicking everybody out. And then we got the pop down the middle. All right, I think that's probably an hour from what we.
Great, Coach. I appreciate it. Good stuff.
Let me
Can you do you have a
stop share. There you go.
yeah. Did you have your contact information, Coach? Did I miss that? Did you put it up there?
Where do I put that?
Oh well, we can get to you later.
Okay.
I just thought maybe you had a slide with your info, but
Oh, I didn't. No, I'm sorry.
yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right. No problem. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Coach. A lot of good stuff, and it's like you said, it's all in, right? Everybody's
Yeah.
got to be all in. Nothing changes the game like an explosive special teams.
Yeah, if anybody needs, if anyone is still listening, I didn't put you to sleep. My email is aaron.price@nau.edu. So it's just my name with a period in between. And more than welcome to. I love having guys come up. I love talking football. So anytime you guys are around, grab me. I'll be out and out and about. Hopefully, the sooner the better for
everybody.
Get through this. But like I said, I can help you with as much transition between the special teams between the college and the high school game. It is a little different.
Yeah, we got you, Coach. Yeah, a lot of respect for the staff up at NAU. I mean, you high school coaches that are listening, these guys are great teachers and a great place to be. So, yeah, any kids that are interested in Northern Arizona, it's a great place to be. And Coach Ball does a great job. That whole staff does a fantastic job. So,
thank you.
I appreciate you, Coach. Again,
right.
For your time coming on, a lot of good information. I'm sure a lot of guys appreciate it. I know I took a ton of notes, so it's all good, Coach. I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
All right, thanks so much, guys, and best of luck. Hope to see you. Hope you see you guys soon.
Yeah, there you go. We'll see you now. Thanks.
All right.